Air Max Penny 1, home. Alright, so what's up YouTube? Just another quick pickup video for you today. And we have, finally, the Air Max Penny 1 in the home colorway. And story time. So these were almost my first shoe when I first got into sneakers. It was the black and red 11s was the shoe that kind of got me into shoes. My cousin had them, and they had come to visit in '96. And so at that point, I wanted some sneakers. That's when I got into shoes. I'm gonna try to condense the story. Anyway, when I went to our local store, obviously they didn't have the black and red 11s. This is like August of '96. They did have these, and growing up in Central Florida, especially at the time, Penny was huge, man. Penny was the man. So I'm sure, like many of you, if you are, aware of basketball, following at that time, even where you live, Penny was huge. So you can imagine here in Central Florida, Penny was huge. So they had these, but they didn't have my size. I would have needed like a 7, 7.5, and the smallest I had was a 9. I remember trying them on, because if I couldn't get the black and 11s, I had no problem, getting these Penny 1s when I saw them. And I was like, yeah, those are nice, those are cool. And then obviously, Penny. But I didn't get these. I didn't get the 9. I ended up getting the black and white Air Much up tempo. Not the more, but the Much. That was my first shoe after I got into shoes. So fast forward to 2000, when the Penny 1 gets its first retro. I wasn't quite into the retro thing just yet. I was still, those of us that were, if you were around at the time, it wasn't really about what was old yet. It was still, more focused on, what was new. And I wasn't old enough to have a job yet, so I couldn't, I had to make decisions on what I was trying to get. So I know the Orlando colorway came out in 2000. I didn't even bother to get those. I was still, Jordan heavy, and at the time, Iversons as well. But this colorway didn't show up in 2000 with the Penny retros at that time. Fast forward to 2006. At this point, I'm old enough. I got a job. I can buy whatever comes out if I wish. And I got the Knicks Penny 1s in 2005, the year before. That was my first Penny 1. So fast forward to 2006. That was the first time the current Penny 1, as we know it, showed up with the small air unit and the various other little changes that they made. Because the Knicks 2000 or the Knicks pair and the 2000 retros were far closer to the original. They had the softer midsole, the big air unit, so on and so forth. But with the 06 pair, I didn't like the small air unit when it first showed up, so I was like, I didn't even bother buying the Orlandos. Obviously the Knicks pair was only a year old at that time, so it was fully wearable, close enough, so I didn't even bother with the Orlandos or any of the other Penny 1s at the time. But I had these in the back of my head, like, well, if the white ones drop, okay, I'd get those, because they're different enough from the Orlando or from the Knicks pair that I already had. So when these the penny ones came out in 2006, I was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, in a year or two, they'll go back and they'll bring this colorway out. So basically since 2007, 2008, I kind of been on the lookout, like every summer, like, okay, y'all gonna do the white penny ones now? You know, just kind of waiting. 2011 comes, we get more penny one retros. They do the black Orlandos again, so now it's the third retro for that shoe. And I'm kind of like, okay, Nike, what's going on? Where's the white colorway? Nothing. Fast forward a little bit further to 2014, we get the announcement that the black penny one, the All-Star colorway, and he wore them in the playoffs as well for road games. Those are getting retro for the first time. So naturally, I'm looking for these. I'm like, okay, Nike, like at this point, it's becoming a thing. Like what the hell's going on? Where is this colorway? Why have they forgotten about this colorway? And I remember, you know, on the forums on NT, there'd always be discussions like, oh well, Nike doesn't want to bring them back because they're all white and they're gonna get dirty. People aren't gonna da 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 da. And there was all this, you know, trying to reason as to what was going on, why this colorway had never, you know, come back. So sure enough, last year, there was some penny ones probably in like 2018 or 19. And I remember there were all these like weird colorways, and they had made some changes, like the pull tabs were both kind of like skinnier and things like that. I was like, I didn't buy any of them, and I was hoping that when they did go back to do original colorways, that they didn't leave them, you know, with the narrow pull tabs, because they've done that before. They did that with the Flightposite 1, where they did like a different edition and changed the outsole, and then they started going back and doing more colorways, and they haven't changed the outsole since. If you know, you know, with the Flightposite 1 outsole. But anyway, so come the end of last year, you know, we get the news or maybe it was earlier this year, where the news is starting to, you know, leak that, you know, okay, we got more penny ones coming. And at this point, I'm like, look, there's no way, especially if they're going to do the black Orlando color, there's no way they could not do this color now. It's like, come on, man, come on. But sure enough, Nike finally, for whatever reason, they just decided to finally bring them out. And man, they're not perfect. Obviously, they have the same small air unit and stuff, but it's after waiting so long for these, I don't even care, man. I doubled up. One for retail, one for resale. This is a 12.5, so I wasn't expecting to get a 12.5 at retail. So, but the resale's not bad on the white colorway, so I went ahead and bit the bullet, and no regrets, man. No regrets. This this shoe is absolutely beautiful. It just screams 90s. It's just all white, and that white and the blue just pops. And then you got the pinstripe on the tongue, which just breaks up a little bit, and it gives that nod to the Orlando Magic, which obviously, you know, Penny was playing for at the time. And it's just, I couldn't be happier, honestly. I can't wait to get these on feet and just start wearing them. I don't even give a damn. I did see in a couple other reviews that the midsole was a little softer, and it is. I compared it to my all black, the 2014 All-Star pair, and this midsole, like where it comes up on the side panel, and then the midsole itself is softer. So I hope they are a little more comfortable. But I don't know how much more comfortable they'll be. I guess we'll find out. But I don't even care, man. I'm just so glad that Nike finally. Like, I literally was looking for these and expecting these, you know, for 15 years. So finally they decided to bring this colorway back. I know they're doing the all black ones as well towards the end of the year, but I don't even care. I know obviously they did the Orlandos as well. I do need another pair of those. I have a 2011 pair of DS, so I need another pair so I can actually wear them. But man, oh man. Years and years and years waiting for these, just waiting. Finally. So Nike, thank you. If you like my content, just do all that good YouTube stuff for me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.